As most of you are now already well aware, there was an attack on Saudi oil facility. Now, the mainstream media is saying Iran is to blame, while Yemen rebels are taking the responsibility, saying we did it. Nonetheless, there's a lot of pieces to this puzzle that aren't particularly adding up. But here's the thing. I believe I have found some answers, and it all lies in the fact of what happened just days before the event transpired. Because the truth is, I believe deep state globalists, along with Iran, and maybe even agents within Saudi Arabia, are behind this attack in order to destabilize the President of the United States of America and take out the American economy. Everyone benefits. But before I get into that report, just a quick break. Over the last 30 days, Capital One, the Central Bank of Europe, and even the great state of Texas have all been hacked in major data breaches. Now, the question that I have is who's going to be next? After all, it seems as if this hacking is out of control. One of the best things you can do to protect you and your loved ones is to make sure you have a VPN, a virtual private network. This allows you to create a secure connection to another network over the internet. Basically, a VPN can shield prying eyes from your personal information. It can even shield foreign adversaries, or even if you're on a public Wi-Fi network, a VPN is the way to go. Let me show you how easy it is to sign up. Right now, if you go to hidewithlisa.com, they're offering a free 30-day trial. Not only that, but you also get 30% off the total. But if you click on the red button, start now for your free 30-day trial, it takes you to another screen. If you select protect myself, then that means you want a VPN on 3 or less devices. If you want to protect your entire family, click protect my family, and this will give you access to 3 or more devices, which means you can connect all your cell phones and all your computers. Then pick a plan. I suggest 24 months for $3.49 a month. Then choose any add-ons you like. I suggest IdentiSafe. Now, IdentiSafe is not yet available to Mac users. However, for those of you who are, I suggest that you check that out also because it hides your cameras and your mics from, well, DDoS attacks and hackers and even the NSA. This month, Virtual Shield is offering a higher discount than normal at 30%. Normally, they're about 20%, but this month, you can get Virtual Shield for the price of a cup of coffee. So please don't forget to go directly to the website at hidewithlisa.com. All right, back to the broadcast. So just how did I come to the conclusion that globalist deep state operatives are working with Iran and maybe even people within Saudi Arabia in order to bring about the destruction and discrediting of President Trump and destabilize our economy? Well, for that answer, let me take you back to an article from 2018. Take a look at this on thehill.com, published September 2018. Trump slams Kerry for illegal meetings with Iran. Here's a tweet by the president around that same time. John Kerry had illegal meetings with the very hostile Iranian regime, which can only serve to undercut our great work to the detriment of the American people. He told them to wait out the Trump administration. Was he registered under the Foreign Agents Registration Act? Bad. Now, this sort of shadow diplomacy with John Kerry and Iran has been going on since 2016. In fact, it's not just John Kerry, it's people within the Obama administration, and it's still happening. Take a look at this article that was published on zerohedge.com this June 2019, so very recent. Former Obama officials helping Iran to outmaneuver the U.S. DailyWire.com published May 2019, undercutting Trump. Former Obama administration officials speak with Iran, says report. So just what is this shadow diplomacy meeting covering? Well, let's not forget what happened to Jimmy Carter, a president, by the way, who I don't like, a former president, but they used Iran to discredit Jimmy Carter. Thus it is today, they are doing the same thing with President Trump. You see, here's the thing. Could, per se, this meeting between deep state operatives here in the U.S. and the deep state operatives within Iran could they have planned something like the Saudi oil attack? I mean, after all, if you think about it, here's maybe what the conversation could have went like. Maybe the deep state approaches the deep state in Iran and they say, hey, why don't we get the Yemens to attack Saudi oil? How about you, Iran, give them the drones and the equipment they need and you get it all prepared. And then we, the deep state in America, will make sure that all the U.S. facilities there protecting and surrounding the oil refineries are, failed, that all the equipment fails and nothing really works the way it's supposed to. You see, because there's no way that that would have happened unless deep state operatives were involved. You see, Iran benefits because it's part of their Shiite-Sunni war, right? And lo and behold, they don't get blamed on the attack. It goes to the Yemens, right? The Yemen rebels, at least that was the idea. And keep in mind, this is all my opinion of a possibility that happened. And second, the deep state, who is really behind it all, gets their benefit because they get to destabilize our economy, increase oil prices, to drive gallons of gas here in the United States of America to unheard of numbers, and hey, discredit the president of the United States just like they did Jimmy Carter, a president, again, which I do not like. Now, here's one little piece of the puzzle or possible backdoor deal. You see, maybe even Saudi Arabia or deep state agents within Saudi Arabia, who knows, were part of it also. You see, because if these oil refineries are taken out, right, well, Saudi Arabia can increase their oil prices, but there has to be a little more for Saudi Arabia to accept it, you see, because if they're going to accept this increase in oil prices, you have to give us a reason for that. And the deep state says, okay. The deep state says, we'll make sure President Trump can't drill anywhere, and he has to get his oil from you. So what happened just days before the attack on the oil refinery? You guessed it. Congress stops, deep state agents stop the president's ability to drill for oil pretty much anywhere. Take a look at this article on CNBC.com, published September 11th. House passes 2 bills blocking oil and gas drilling off Pacific, Atlantic, and Florida Gulf Coast. FoxNews.com, published September 12th. House votes to ban drilling in Arctic refuge. Is it any coincidence that just days before the strike on the 14th on the Saudi oil, that President Trump was stopped from being able to drill in all these places? You see, that could have solidified something for Saudi Arabia deep agents. Now the U.S. has to rely on that oil versus getting their own. You see, everybody's got their hands in something. Now, again, this is just my opinion of what's happened, my hypothetical assessment. It could go a lot of different ways. It could be wrong on sections. I could be right in sections. But why stop oil and the drilling for oil when we're basically in a crisis, if you call it, but they're going to halt it all. And then just days after, our oil tanks get attacked in Saudi Arabia. Not to mention John Bolton getting taken out just days before our warmonger, right? Maybe that was to prevent a war with Iran. I don't know. And hopefully we don't go to war with Iran, because President Trump was talking about taking a military action against Iran, and now he's backed off on that a little bit. Hopefully that is not the case, because that would not be the right answer, especially if the deep state is behind it all. And you see, they're getting what they wanted, because our economy is getting messed with. Take a look at this article on RT, published September 16th. Oil prices skyrocket 20% after attacks on soya plants disrupt global supply. Newswars.com, September 17th. 6th of the last 8 recessions are preceded by oil price spikes. Damage to Saudi oil industry could take months to repair. New York Times, after Saudi attack, oil market is on edge. What if the other shoe drops? And Forbes, stocks fall, gold rises in wake of Saudi oil attack. So the economy is getting destabilized. They're discrediting President Trump. They're trying to get Trump to go to war with Iran. And who's really behind it? The deep state operatives. You see, because if Trump can't fix the oil problem because Congress stopped him, then your hands are kind of tied, right? Anyhow, I'd love to get your thoughts, comments, and concerns. What do you think is really going on? Who do you think is behind it? Do you think the deep state is at the core of all of it? You know, I actually put up a survey on my YouTube channel, and most of you agreed that it was the deep state. And the deep state, mind you, works in all different directions. They can work with Iran and not say anything to Saudi Arabia. They can work with Saudi Arabia and not say anything to Iran. That's how manipulation and foreign powers work. And maybe that's what's going on here. Kind of a proxy war. Anyhow, I'd love to get your thoughts. These were my opinions, obviously, and I'll leave them all in the description box below. And don't forget to hit that red subscribe button. Make sure you're subscribed and share this everywhere. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.